Hello, I am Donald Duke, and welcome to another episode of Bridging the Gap. One of the biggest challenges we face as a nation is our credit system. It really is the bane of our productivity because here we are, a nation with an army of unemployed people who are unable to start their small businesses and get going. We are very entrepreneurial. We want to do every Nigerian, whether he's employed or not, has a side business or thinking of a side business along the way. But the biggest challenge he has is getting the capital to start. Now, this is where the banking system comes in. The banking system does not relate to the average Nigerian who is seeking to start its business. Rather, it relates to the established businesses already. It caters for the rich and the wealthy. Now, if we are going to grow this economy, if we are going to ensure that every Nigerian has the opportunity to fulfill his dreams, he must have access to capital, affordable capital. And affordable capital is two things. One, it must be, as the name suggests, affordable. So it's interest rates that, to my mind, should be in the single digits, anywhere under 9%. And two, it must be long-term. You couldn't give credit and expect to be paid back in a year for a manufacturing concern, for instance. In an economy that is in recession, only the banks are making money and declaring huge profits. There's a disconnect here. They're taking advantage of the system. The government borrows from the banks, for instance, at 17%. And that is guaranteed income. If the banks could lend to the government at 17% at no risk, why would they bother lending to other members of society? So it doesn't, as a banker, that wouldn't make sense. You're going to cut your risks. But we're not going to grow the economy. We're never going to be able to achieve our full potential as an average Nigerian. So the chap running the streets and hawking, running after cars, our system tells you that he's employed. That's not employment. He has his own dreams. Most of us, at the prime of our lives, when we're bristling with energy and ideas, we're unfulfilled because the system is not designed to enhance our productivity. You notice that one of our biggest exports as a nation is the banking industry. We literally have Nigerian banks all over Africa. But we don't have Nigerian manufacturing all over Africa. The manufacturing sector of our GDP is less than 5%. A lot of the companies we heard about in the past have wound up. The textiles have all gone. We were making electronic parts. I mean, I remember growing up and we had a Debawale Electronics and all that. They were manufacturing. We had cool air conditioning, all sorts of things going on. But right now, we don't do any manufacturing because affordable credit is lacking. No nation can continue this way. It's a miracle that we've survived this long. We talk about us having the largest economy on the continent. That's a factor of numbers, not a factor of productivity. With almost 200 million people, even if they were producing just 10% of their capacity, it still makes us the largest economy. But in terms of productivity per capita, we're probably one of the least. And that leads to all the unfulfillment we're seeing, all the strife, all the crisis, whether it's Boko Haram or herdsmen crisis or migration to Europe or kidnapping or discontent, fraud, corruption. It all comes down to this nation of unfulfilled people, and it is growing. Affordable credit does not threaten banks in any way. It actually makes them widen the pool of people who are brought into the economic system. It encourages them to go out there and seek entrepreneurs to give the small loans here and there, 200,000, 500,000, 100,000, because the person wants to make a native soap here and sell within this community and all that. So what they are making from a few, they can make a lot more from a larger pool. And that's how society works. There are too many people in our country not within the economy. There are too many people whom you cannot demand taxation from. And that's wrong, because ordinarily, the ordinary people fund the government. Our system works in the reverse. The government generates rents from a few businesses and tries to infuse it down to the people. It doesn't work that way. So in other words, government prosperity should be from a thriving population. If our government is going to work and have the resources to run the economy, then it should ensure that folks have money and pay taxes. So it's like an osmosis situation where the plant gets its nutrients from the soil and not from the leaves. So the mass of people are gainfully employed and have disposable income and can afford paying taxes, the government is better off. The government generates more revenue that way. How many of us are frustrated at our inability to start a business or own a home or get something going because we don't have access to the basic requirements financial? This is something we need to talk about. This is something that I think concerns all of us, and I want us to keep this conversation going. I look forward to speaking with you next time.